Hello, my name is Jonathan Russell. I'm a third year at TMU. I am in the new media program within the creative school, but I feel like my passion in life kind of deviated from where new media kind of heads, in the direction new media heads. I have a passion for fashion, specifically streetwear, which is the reason I took this course. So over the past year, I've been kind of experimenting with different forms of graphic design because I love graphic design. So I started off with social media marketing and like just doing and creating social media deliverables. But then I tried different things like thumbnail design, and I ended up landing on merchandise design. And I thought merchandise design was I resonated with it a lot more. And then as I progressively uh, experimented, I kind of shifted away from merchandise and went to poster design, and then poster design kind of like movie design and album design, and then I moved toward streetwear apparel design, which is exactly where I love to be. Streetwear apparel design is like something I love doing, and so I kind of the reason I took Zone 100 is to turn that passion into a business venture and learn the appropriate skills so I can facilitate that process. I'm more artistically and creatively inclined, and I'm not really that business savvy. So I figured Zone 100 would be the best place to learn those skills. So the project I pursued during this class was an apparel design venture, kind of like studio model, but then I kind of shifted toward I kind of actually want my own clothing brand, and over this semester, I went from just having the idea in my mind. At first, I used to only really design posters, and I made designs, but they weren't explicitly designed to go on T-shirts per se. But like they could have been on a T-shirt, for example, like an album cover. But imagine the album cover still had its like background, so like it'd be pasted on a T-shirt, just like in a square. But I didn't really want that. When I think of hoodie design, I think of creating designs that capitalize on the fact that capitalize on the garment itself. So now where I'm at 3 months later is I'm in contact with a manufacturer. I've gotten a bunch of like customer surveys, and I asked a bunch of my beneficiaries if they would buy my clothes, and I actually don't remember getting a no. So that made me really happy. Everyone said, "Oh yeah, that's a dope design. I really like that. That shirt. Is that shirt for sale?" And then when I told them that I made it, they said, "Oh, you should make your own clothing company." And I said, "Bingo, that's kind of exactly where I'm going." So yeah, I can't really say I've made like it's not a full blown venture yet, but I'm a lot closer to where I am now, and the progress I've made over the past 3 months is exponentially more than the progress I made over the previous 9 months because so overall total a year. Over the past year, it's just been something I've been thinking about. Like, yes, I want a clothing company. I don't know how to go about it. It was just kind of like I was taking random steps towards that. But the past few months have been really paramount in solidifying my goals, my ideas, and like where I want to go. And yeah, I'm really thankful for this course. So the journey overall has been I've enjoyed it for the most part. What I kind of learned the most was I the discipline to carry on something for longer than 4 months at a time is kind of like the crucial thing I learned because uh, I normally only really do things for the longest a school semester. I never really bothered carrying on projects that go on longer than the school semester because I'm only really 21, so there hasn't really been that much opportunities for me to create something and nurture it for more than that amount of time. Especially university, how courses are only last a semester long unless there's something like a thesis, and that they probably may last a year or longer. So getting so I guess learning the discipline to carry on something for longer than 4 months at a time is something that I learned that I should really do. I learned to work on this project every day. I kind of make sure it falls within my within my overall schedule. I make sure that I can work on my venture at least for 30 minutes to an hour every single day because I want this to authentically grow. So the encouragement I got from my peers, sometimes it wasn't necessarily words of affirmation, but it's more that they're going through the same things that I am, such as uncertainty. See, some people may feel anxious, some people may feel stressed, some people feel overwhelmed, and it's kind of good to be in a space of like-minded people because then it motivates you to strive for more than just to be stagnant. Even hearing other people's success stories, it, for me at least, I like hearing when people put in work, especially when they're at a similar level that I am, because it shows how they transition from one phase to the next. In my case, the ideation phase to the prototype phase, and eventually to a business phase. I feel like when I can see that process, it makes me feel like, okay, I can do that too. And I also just like seeing other people winning. So yeah, this course is really good for that. So the setbacks I had during this course, I can't really say they were necessarily setbacks because my project is only in the ideation phase, so there weren't really setbacks per se. Within the last 3 weeks of me recording this video, I got in contact with the manufacturer. I was kind of learning how to communicate with the manufacturer. The only setbacks were really the delay in those things, and because I really wanted them to show to my peers. It was my first time learning that process, and I honestly think while that may have been a low that I got such a long delay, I think it was also a high because I learned how to go through the process, so for the next time I'm ready to place an order, then I can go through the process a lot more flawlessly. So what I learned from beneficiaries and just potential customers is feedback on my clothes. For the most part, I actually got a lot of positive feedback, and that's just kind of what I needed to understand that my clothes are market ready. So what I learned from myself is the importance of discipline. I feel like I really learned to shift my perspective into enjoying the doing of something rather than the outcome it produces. I like setting goals and being able to achieve the goals and consistently doing that because it puts me in a routine. It reinforces that I can do these goals. The way I advanced my industry was by learning a lot more about trends and learning a lot more about social media marketing, how to present my work. I learned how to create clothes in industry format. I learned what trends are kind of like in fashion right now. For example, baggy hoodies, baggy clothing in general is very relevant right now. So creating designs that accommodate that baggy look. I feel like that knowledge is very crucial for me thriving as a clothing apparel designer. At the moment of recording this, currently where I'm at in my project is it exists as an entity on Instagram, but my next goal is to make sales and cement myself as an actual clothing brand. Right now, I'm definitely going to focus on social media marketing so that I can market my designs so that I can get an initial following that would like to buy my debut collection. So working on the social media marketing, creating a social media marketing plan, content creation strategy, all that to create my clothing brand. That is my primary goal right now. What advice would I give myself if I were at the beginning of ZON 100? If I were able to go back, this message, I feel like even if I were to hear this, I still wouldn't take it seriously. But discipline and learning to love doing something rather than what you get out of it. Just learning how to enjoy the process, and then the journey is what makes the success. Because the takeaways from this course were pretty much everything. Like, I feel like I went to every class and learned something valuable to my growth as a person. So essentially, I think the value of the course is actually the environment and the knowledge. I think it's very hard to come across other spaces specifically with that curate this type of environment. So